Yo, what is up, y'all? My name is Devin, and today we're going to be getting into the literal physical assault of one of our shining pillars in the bodybuilding community, Jeff Nippard. For those of y'all who do not know or have not seen yet, Jeff Nippard was throat shoved by an influencer named Big Mike Van Wyck. Let's talk about what this means for gym culture, the aggression that I have seen within the gym, and why you should still feel safe going to the gym. It may seem like a stretch for people to feel unsafe by seeing this sort of behavior, but honestly, it just exemplifies a deeper problem that a lot of us people who are queer or trans or gay or anything like that may feel about gym culture already, right? But before I get into that, if you are interested in one-on-one coaching, a custom meal plan, or a custom training plan, you can go ahead and email me or check out my website. It's going to be linked down below, okay? Mike Van Wyck posted a video pretty much saying that science-based lifters are not impressive. They have nothing to show for all the evidence-based training that they provide, the content that they make. They're just essentially nerds who don't know anything. I'll let him say it with his own words.
We all know the science-based guys. Any top three you choose. Tell me if you would describe their physique as excellent, average, or mediocre. And where would you put them in that? I guarantee it's not in excellent. It's somewhere in the middle, right? Science guys really need to answer this question before anything. Why is it that you remain so mediocre, yet you know so much?
Yeah, so Jeff's response to that was, hey bro, like I've actually won a lot of bodybuilding competitions. I've won powerlifting competitions. I've maxed out my genetic potential, all because of, all the work that I've done with evidence-based, science-based lifting. This is what I have to show for myself. If you want to talk about it, we could talk about it.
I know I don't need to respond to this, but since he asked, using science-based training, I won Natural Bodybuilding Nationals. I earned my pro card on the most competitive stage in the World Natural Bodybuilding Federation. I placed second in my first bodybuilding pro show, and while doing this, I set the Canadian record on the bench press, and I set a provincial record on the squat. I currently weigh 180 pounds at 5'5" tall, which is pretty close to my natural limit given my height and my genetics. That's all besides the point though, because facts are facts. Information is either right or wrong. It doesn't matter who that information is coming from. If the people with the best physiques had the most knowledge, why would C-Bum need a coach? He has the best physique on the planet. Who could possibly know more than him?
Explicitly what Jeff said in his comment was, he blocked me, so I don't think he's acting in good faith. Jeff was right. Mike was not acting in good faith, right? He wants to throw out a video there bullying him and didn't want to talk about it, didn't want to have an actual intellectual conversation, perhaps even have a debate on why, he thinks that science-based lifting is bullshit. Pure Fitness is a really popular gym in Canada. It's pretty much like Gold's Gym in California or Dragon's Lair in Las Vegas. There are these kind of meccas of bodybuilding, right? A ton of influencers train there, a ton of bodybuilders train there, and Jeff trains there, and Mike happens to train there. Apparently they went back and forth a little bit, had a little bit of a conversation, and Mike took it upon himself to throat shove Jeff a couple of times. I saw once in the video, apparently he shoved him 2 more times for a total of 3 times, and then also went ahead and shoved Jeff's cameraman, which they said was like a kid, like a 16-year-old kid. What I found funny was after this event happened, I never followed Mike. I don't really love the whole, I'm a hardcore bro, like, yeah, weakness, reject weakness, yeah, head tattoo, yeah. Like, not that there's anything against it. His style of content is just not really what I'm looking for in terms of consumption, so I didn't follow him. But after this disgusting human behavior, I went to his page to see, like, what is this guy even about? Like, what is going on? And I saw that he did a remix of a reel that a lesbian trainer created, where she was pretty much saying, hey, if you don't feel safe in these pretty cishet spaces, we're creating a community here where you can feel more safe, right? And he was pretty much clowning her, saying, it's so hard to be a lesbian in cishet spaces, like no one's doing anything to you, sis, calm down.
Attention lesbians living in Los Angeles. Are you tired of not being comfortable at your gym and on top of that, not getting any results?
I guess that's like a weird angle to take. You're trying to target and corner the lesbian market. Like they need special attention. Like we're all humans, right? Like we just work out, our bodies are the same. In the caption, it went on to say are you sick and tired of these straight dominated gyms? Do you feel unsafe and insecure?
Yet, anytime there are fights or displays of aggression within the gym, it's always coming from cis men. We don't see women breaking out into fights. We don't really see anybody else breaking out into fights, acting insane, roid rage, anything like that, unless it's a cis man. So is it a far fetch for queer people, such as this lesbian trainer who wants to create a safe space for her community? Is it a far fetch for us to want to have our own spaces? I also don't think that we should have to be afraid, right? I think that individuals like this freaking douchebag Mike should literally be jailed. I don't understand why he's not in jail. There's literal footage of him physically assaulting someone. That is a crime. You cannot go around throat shoving people like it's an MMA match. I don't understand why he's not in jail. You should not be, scared of entering entering these cishet spaces, right? A lot of the people that I talk to are afraid to go to gyms because, you know, I'm trans, you know, I'm afraid to sit down on the toilet. I know a lot of people who just simply don't use the restroom at gyms, and this is honestly the kind of behavior that perpetuates the fear that we have as queer people. Please do not be afraid. It's kind of like assholes like this want you to be afraid. They may not explicitly say that they, you know, that they're the ones who run these spaces and, you know, I'm the big man, what I say goes. Apparently this guy was even acting like an asshole to other giant bodybuilders, like big ass dudes, right? And whenever it came to interactions with them, he never did anything. So it's always a bullying situation, right? It's always, you know, I'm bigger than you, so I think that I'm gonna exert some sort of power over you and you're not gonna be able to defend yourself, right? These situations are far and few between. And honestly, I would say since I first began training to today, things have gotten way better. I see much more queer people at the gym, and it may seem like, why are you looking? Why does it matter? I observe my surroundings. I notice that I'm surrounded less by like bodybuilder bros and 100%, you know, maybe more femme presenting people or maybe more mask presenting AFAB looking people, right? This is something that I acknowledge. Not that we've not always been here, but you know, the ratios are becoming a little more balanced, which I love. And I think that more and more places are starting to feel a bit safer, right? I don't think that your gains should be stifled by someone with a small ego, like Big Mike Van Witt, whatever the hell this guy's name is, right? If I'm Jeff, I'm pressing charges to the maximum degree, okay? Pushing someone that hard who's that much smaller than you, Jeff could have hit his head on a plate. He could have hit his head on a machine. He could have literally cracked his skull open and literally died. Like, this is something that happens. It's manslaughter. It happens, right? When people act like we're being sensitive, or when we say things like, I fear for my safety. I mean, Jeff Nippard is a very likable guy. Until today, I would have never thought that he had any enemies whatsoever. Not that I'm the biggest creator, but someone like myself who's like visibly trans, you know? That's why I get kind of fearful. I'm sure some of y'all who have seen me in person, if you go like, hey, are you Devin? Like, I watch your YouTube videos or I follow you on Instagram, I might look a little shook for a second because I'm kind of like I'm trans, I'm visibly trans. Probably most of y'all who are watching this are okay with that. You might not care, but there are tons of hate comments I get of people telling me crazy stuff, of people, you know, threatening me with harm, threatening me with, you know, sexual harm, stuff like that. So if someone comes up to me at the gym, you know, I'm kind of like, okay, hopefully this is a positive experience, right? This type of behavior hopefully will force gyms to take things a little bit more seriously when it does come to safety. Maybe be a little bit more explicit with, hey, we're not going to condone any sort of aggressive behavior. I know if I was a gym owner, I would use this as an example for people to feel safe coming to my gym, for people to understand that there is no room for this sort of behavior. Leave your trend anger, your fits of roid rage at the door, bro. Like, we're not going for it. We're not crazy. We're not overly sensitive. We're just hyper vigilant because I don't know about y'all, but I obviously used to be a mask presenting lesbian. I was scared walking around. Sometimes I am still scared walking around, and it's not for no reason. I mean, if somebody as likable as Jeff Nippard can get assaulted like that, we are right to be, you know, aware for our safety and things like that. I'm still gonna train my ass off. I'm still gonna be very aware of my surroundings, but this is definitely, you know, a wake-up call to be very aware and do not interact with people. I think that Mike expected Jeff to kind of cower at the sight of him. Apparently, Mike was like, hey, what's up? Like, what's going on with you? And Jeff was just sort of laughing like, bro, are you serious? Maybe Mike expected him to be like, oh, sorry. That didn't happen. I've said it on here before. I've had altercations with people at the gym. If I'm being honest, if I didn't feel so triggered by the altercations, I probably would have just said nothing, period. And now I am in a place where if somebody is having a bad day at the gym, if somebody wants to show off how big their pee-pee is, you got it, bro. I don't care. I'm not getting choke shoved at the gym. Like, it's not happening. Realistically, I find it so important to address this because I love the gym. I love the community that I've built. Discord chat in description down below, by the way, since we're talking about community. And I don't want anybody, either somebody who's coming up or somebody who would like to go to the gym or anybody who is kind of put off by the gym to think this is it. I'm definitely not going, because you still deserve to take up space. And honestly, 9 times out of 10, people are not going to be a jackass to you, right? So if you do not yet follow me on Instagram, you can definitely check it out. It's going to be linked down below. These supplements back here, I'm sponsored by this company, Legion. If you do want to go ahead and get 20% off your first order, you can do that. The link is going to be in the description down below, okay? Like I always say, Devin loves you, Devin's a Don, and Devin is out of here, boy.